Hi guys, it's Michelle, and today's video I'm quite excited about because it is going to be a conspiracy theories that I actually believe video. I think I've done a couple of these before. I have quite a few new conspiracy theories that I actually really do believe. It kind of freaks me out to even like believe in some stuff because some of it's like pretty scary, to be honest. But either way, let's get into it. The first conspiracy theory that I want to talk about that I actually really do believe is reincarnation. I don't know if this is, I guess it's considered a conspiracy theory. Basically, reincarnation is the idea that like when you die, your soul goes on and goes into a different body and you have past lives. I normally actually really don't believe this. Like, I don't like it. I hate the idea of reincarnation so much. Like, it used to make me cry as a child when people would tell me this because it would freak me out that like you just keep going in life and you don't even have memories of like your past life, because I was just so upset that like I wouldn't remember this life, if that makes sense. The reason that I kind of do believe it is because there are stories with like children, and I actually want to do a whole video on this. Like, I don't know, I've been watching a lot of Kettle Ray's videos, Levy Girl, and she has made so many videos about like specific children who remember their past lives, and it's like really intense and really scary. If it's real, in the sense of like if the parents aren't making it up and you know they didn't like concoct this whole thing, it's terrifying, because then it's like there's no way to like argue it because it's like the evidence is just there. It's like I really do believe in reincarnation. If the kids who have talked about it and like had these experiences are like legit, then I would 100% believe it, but obviously there's no way to know if like the parents are lying. With the evidence that there is, like there's kids who remember their past lives dying in 9/11 and all this crazy stuff, and it's so terrifying. And like I just can't imagine like if you're like you had a child and they just remember this past life. Like, it's just so freaking weird. But like I said, you'll never actually know like if like the parents just did it to like get news coverage or like all that stuff. So that's the only thing that kind of keeps me like a little bit, I don't know, about it. But at the same time, it's like if that's real, and since there are so many stories about it, it makes me kind of believe it, even though I don't want to, because I think that that would suck. The next conspiracy theory that we're going to be talking about revolves around Taylor Swift. So Taylor Swift, this girl, I've done so many conspiracy videos on, and mostly because I'm so positive that this girl knows that people are going to be assuming things whenever she puts out music. They're gonna be like, this is about this, and this is about Kim and Kanye and like their fight, and like this is about this person and whatever. I think that she specifically does this on purpose as like a marketing kind of tactic in order to get more views and more listens on her new albums. I think this is just plain like obvious. Like, I think this is to the point where it's probably not even a conspiracy. For example, like Look What You Made Me Do, I 100% feel like that song was written and the music video was done in a specific way because she wanted people to think that it was about Kim and Kanye. Even if it like wasn't, she knew what people were gonna assume, because that's what was going on at that time. So I think that she did that, made it her single from the album, in order to push the album more so more people would like listen to it. See if there's other songs about Kim and Kanye. I think it's so smart, but like it feels so stupid because like I'll always make conspiracy videos about it, but it's like not even a conspiracy theory, because they know like that if they just add certain words into different places, people will automatically assume that it's about a specific thing that actually happened in their life, even when the song might not even like be like that. So I don't know, I just think it's really interesting, and I think Taylor Swift is like the queen of doing this, because I think she knows that there's a lot of conspiracy surrounding her. So I think she just purposely adds little things to make it seem like, oh my gosh, did she really have a part in this? Did she really do this? Is she really talking about Kim and Kanye right now? When in reality, she's not. So I don't know, I just think that's really interesting. Speaking of marketing tactics, I think that clothing brands and stores and food brands, like everything, use different marketing tactics as well. I mean, obviously they do, but I mean like specific ones that I find interesting that I haven't even thought about, but like once I saw it, I was like, that's probably actually true. For example, like a lot of fast food restaurants put like more salt in their food so that you have to buy a drink, all that stuff, yeah, whatever. But something interesting that I heard was that like women's jeans are made with small pockets intentionally, because we all know that that's fucking annoying, so that women have to buy purses. And I kind of believe this because like men's pants, like they straight up could put like keys, they could put their phone, they could put their wallet, like so much in their fucking pockets. And in women's jeans you can basically put nothing. Like it's so irritating. And if you think about it, it does make sense, because that's pretty much why a lot of people that wear women's jeans have to carry bags and purses, and it's irritating. Because I hate carrying a purse and I just like refuse to do it. It sucks because it's like shitty, but it's really smart if you think about it, especially the like brands and stuff that make not only jeans but also purses. Like it's really smart tactic. I hate the word tactic and I literally keep saying it, so sorry about it. I do genuinely believe that companies do that all the time. Another conspiracy theory that I fully believe, I decided to put this in even though I talked about this actually not that long ago, is that the 10-year challenge was used to create better programs for facial aging, in a sense of like if someone goes missing and then 10 years later they're still trying to find this person, they can show a very accurate age progression. When you post a picture of you now and a picture of you 10 years ago, it can help age recognition and like aging programs better learn how people age naturally. And I think that that's super interesting. I don't think that it was fully created for this purpose, but I think that it definitely could have been used, or at least should be. If they aren't using it, here's an idea. Use it, because that is so many different people and so many different ways that someone grows up, and you can even see where the person's from to see if like that has anything to do with the way they age. I just think it's super interesting, and it would help a lot in missing cases and unsolved cases. I would say that that's probably like something that I think that either they're definitely already doing or they should be, because it would be really helpful. The last two conspiracy theories that I want to talk about are a little controversial, because I think people believe the opposite of what I believe, which is okay because we're allowed to have opinions here, guys. It's fine. The first one is Area 51. A lot of people genuinely think that this is a place for alien research. I just don't actually think that. I have done a video about Area 51 and like some things that have like come out from it. People talking about how there's like alien autopsies and like all this crazy stuff. Personally, I think that if there was a place that like the government was doing like alien research and like there was actually aliens in this place, I think that this would be way more secretive than it actually is, because Area 51 is like known for like it being like an alien place. Like it's like people, it's like kind of widely believed. I don't know if it's like actually believed, because I feel like they would just like, if that was true, I think that they would just either move it somewhere else, have a different place that nobody knows about, because Area 51, even though it is like super secretive, you can't fly over, like it's really sketchy in general, but I just personally don't think that it has to do with aliens. I think it probably has to do with something possibly worse, because probably something that might actually affect the government and America, which is kind of creepy. Even you think about like the people who work there are like sworn to secrecy and like, you know, they sign NDAs and stuff, but like if you were actually working, like think about it logistically, if someone was working at like Area 51 and they were married and they went and told their spouse like, oh my god, this is like what's going on, and it was aliens, like I feel like it would be so much of a bigger deal, because obviously they sign NDAs, but obviously people who sign NDAs probably tell their spouse or their close family or their friends even, like some, like I don't know, I know a lot of people who have signed NDAs for things and just still talk about the things. It is what it is. We're human and we just spill secrets all the fucking time, and that's just like natural. And then like if one person tells their wife, then they might go tell their friends and like all this stuff. So it's really just a cycle, honestly. I think we would know a lot more if it was actually about alien research, because that would just be too wild. There's no way that anyone working there would be able to keep that a secret. Like, I don't know. And I'm not saying that the government doesn't have some type of like research on aliens and stuff, but like I feel like that would be way more private if that was the case, because I think it would freak people out. Like I think it would freak citizens out and it would terrify everyone. So I don't really think that Area 51 actually has to do with that, but that's just like a personal opinion. So the last conspiracy that we're going to be talking about is probably one of the most widely believed conspiracy theories, which was that 9/11 was an inside job. And I don't necessarily not believe that, if that makes sense, But I think that like there are so many things that are just misspoken about 9/11. I'm kind of gonna be debunking some of the conspiracy, but it's never to say that like it's not an inside job, because like it's like it could be or it could not be. But I think people forget to look at the fact that it could actually have happened the way that we think it happened. I'm more of a devil's advocate kind of bitch for this conspiracy theory, because I hate when people are matter of fact about something that is like there's no possible way to know about it. Because like even though I do believe these conspiracy theories and a lot of the conspiracy theories that I talk about, I will never be like 100% like this is actually blah, 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 because like it just, there's no actual way to know, and that's just the truth. A lot of people believe that the attack on September 11th, 2001 on the World Trade Center was actually an inside job, that there were bombs in the building. I've heard so many different conspiracy theories about 9/11 in general. Mostly the reason that people claim that this was a conspiracy, or that there was bombs in the building, is because of the way the buildings fell. The buildings fell in the style of a demolition, which obviously looks suspicious to the average person. Mostly people's scientific facts about this is that jet fuel can't melt steel beams. I've heard that phrase so many fucking times, which it is true. They cannot melt steel beams. However, it can weaken the structure a lot, and we're gonna talk about that. Jet fuel burns anywhere between 800 degrees and 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit, which is not hot enough to melt steel beams. Some experts do claim that this would be impossible, and like there's no possible way that this building could have fallen like that. But then you have to look at the other side of the argument, which is that some experts do claim that this is definitely possible, and that it happened the way that we think it happened. Some experts say that steel actually just has to lose some of its structural strength in order for it to fall and collapse like that. To lose 50% of steel strength, the fuel has to be burning at 1,100 degrees, which is definitely possible in the case of this, because like I said, jet fuel burns at 800 to 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit. The senior engineer of the American Institute of Steel Construction actually said this, and they were like, at least 50% of the structural strength was already boiled down because of the fuel burning. Like even though it's not melting the steel beams, it's making them very weak, causing the building to collapse. And the National Institute of Standards and Technology actually agrees with this theory. They think that that makes complete sense, and not only that, but they claim that the fireproof like insulation on the walls of the Twin Towers by the jet when it actually collided into the Twin Towers, they think that the like fireproofing was knocked off, basically from knocking off the fireproof insulation. The steel in the steel beams, the metal in the steel beams were completely exposed to the fire, that the structural strength would be even weakened even more than 50%. Most people think that just like the impact and the jet fuel probably weakened the structure like almost 90%. But they say at least 50% because of how hot the fuel was. And I find this really interesting because people always say jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Like obviously it can't, but it can weaken them to the point where it would make sense that the building collapsed. And that's pretty much people's like number one theory of why it doesn't make sense. I'm not saying that there couldn't have been bombs in the building. There could have been, but I'm saying that that's not like facts that there was. I think some people take things as facts, and that's irritating to me when it's just not factual at all. Not only that, but not for nothing, my grandfather actually built the World Trade Center. Like he like laid the cement and stuff, and he claims that the buildings were built like that on purpose, that if anything were to happen to the Twin Towers, it would fall like that, like in a demolition style, so that it wouldn't like fall on other buildings since they were so fucking tall. And a lot of buildings are built like this. I'm not even saying that it's not an inside job. I'm just saying that like I don't think that there were bombs in the building. There could have been, but I'm just saying there also could have not been. And I feel like that is the most important thing to note when you are into conspiracy theories, is you can't always 100% like believe something. I almost never. I don't know. I think I have like a lot of videos that are like, oh man, I 100% believe this conspiracy theory, and like maybe I do, but I would say it's always at least like 98%, because there's a 2% chance that you're just wrong. Like that's just, I don't know. Facts. But yeah, I don't know. With 9/11, I think it's obviously a touchy subject because obviously it was a horrible tragedy either way. I don't think that it makes it any better when people are continuously being like it was an inside job or it didn't happen, which is just ridiculous. That is it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about these conspiracy theories and what are some conspiracy theories that you genuinely believe. But that is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram because I'm always posting really dope ass shit on there. Subscribe for new videos every week, and I will see you guys later. Bye!